So when we start, we are going to do only 3 questions. Remember, this will be like prep classes. Yeah, mathematics, you are required to do at the bare minimum 5 questions every night before you sleep. So then I will be here to guide you through this process of revising, especially the whole of this December. I'm only looking at mathematics paper 1. Mathematics paper 1, I will ensure that by the time we finish this particular tuition, you guys will be very thorough with mathematics paper 1. That is my objective. That is my biggest objective. Yeah, and we shall go straight away to question number 4. Remember, we did the first 3 yesterday. So today I'm doing question number 4. So question number 4, we are writing there, a cylindrical solid of radius 7 centimeters, of radius 7 centimeters, has a conical top, has a conical top of the same radius, full stop there. The height of the cylinder part of the solid, the height of the cylinder part, the height of the cylinder, the height of the cylindrical part of the solid is 17 centimeters. Of the solid is 17 centimeters, full stop. The conical top has a vertical height. The conical top has a vertical height, of 9 centimeters, full stop. Calculate the volume of the solid. Calculate the volume of the solid. And they are telling us that pi is 22/7. Pi is 22/7. So I'll be able to give you exactly 3 minutes to see, because this question has 3 marks. So I'll be able to give you a few minutes here. You try tackling this question. It's a very easy question, very popular. So basically, we have our normal cylindrical cylinder. Yeah, so we have our normal cylinder, which basically looks like this. All right, and then on top of this, ladies and gentlemen, we have something very interesting here. We have a cone that behaves like that. Yeah, so they have given us, ladies and gentlemen, they have given us the radius of the cylinder, 7 centimeters, the radius here, 7 centimeters. Then they have given us 2 heights. So we have height 1, which is the height of the cylinder from here to here. So height 1, the height of the cylindrical part of the solid is 17 centimeters. And then we have a height 2. So height 2 runs like that. Yeah, for the cone. So the conical top has a vertical height of 9 centimeters. 9 centimeters. So then they want us to give them the volume. They simply want us to give them the volume over this entire solid, which has got a cylinder, and then number 2, a cone. So then the volume, ladies and gentlemen, here will be the volume of cylinder plus volume of cone. The volume of the cone. The volume of the cone here. So can somebody give me the formula of getting a volume of a cylinder? Anybody who is able to give me the volume of getting the formula for getting volume? Formula for getting volume of a cylinder. Somebody help me there. Volume of a cylinder. Very, very easy because you see a cylinder on top has a circle. I'm waiting to hear from you. Remember that student who participates a lot will be able to get great presents as well. So volume of the cylinder. So pi, yeah, it is the area of the circle. Area of the circle. So we have here pi r squared. So pi r squared, the area of the circle. So the third dimension, the third angle, it will be this h. Call it h1. Call it h1 because h1 is for the cylinder. And then now, ladies and gentlemen, remember the concept of the cone. The cone, if you're to put water here, the cone basically will take a third of the volume over the cylinder, a third. So in this case here, basically, whenever you talk of volume of a cone, you will say here plus volume of a cone. It will be a third of the normal volume of the cylinder. And the volume of the cylinder is what we have here as pi r what here? Pi r squared. In this particular case, ladies and gentlemen, multiplied by what here? Height of the cone, which is height 2 here. Height of the cone, which is height 2. So remember that pi, they have told us to use 22/7 times the radius. So the radius here is 7. So 7 squared times the first height, height of the cylinder, which is what here? 17. Whenever I see a third of this volume, I know this is a cone. So I'll talk over a third times the normal pi, which is 22/7. You can see this cone is sitting on this circle whose radius is still 7. So then we have here 7 squared times height 2. Remember that height 2 is the height of the cone, which in this case is what here? Is 9. So could you kindly help me, first of all, if you have your calculator, great calculator, please first of all give me this answer. Give me this answer for the cylinder, and then someone else will be able to give me this answer for the cone. I want to start throwing away my presents. So for the cylinder, somebody has given me 26/18. What have they done? They have taken their calculator and they have pressed there 22/7 times 7 raised to power 2, or 7 squared times 17. Yeah, plus in this case here, the cone somebody is giving me are very good students here. Are very good students. I can see Ephraim praise. They've giving me 26/18 centimeter cubed. And then the cone in this case here, you can see has got 400 watt here. The cone has got 400 watt here. Somebody 62 volume. So then this total will end up giving us what answer? This total will end up, yeah, thank you so much. So the total will be 3080. It will be 3080 centimeters what here cubed. You double underline your answer, because students who go through my classes are normally very organized. They're normally very organized. Thank you so much, Andia. Great. So then I would want to give my first present. my second present actually, as I've been doing this, is there somebody who has been able to notice a student who is very aggressive? A student who has been answering my question. It doesn't matter whether they were right or wrong. So long as they've been answering or even asking questions, who will you be able to vote for here as the most aggressive student? Who will you be able to vote for here? Don't vote for yourself. Vote for someone else. I would want to see who is being voted for as the most aggressive, just through the observation of the few minutes that you have been around. So Audrey, I'm being told Audrey, and here, Ephraim has been, don't vote for yourself. We shall be able, Akoyo has also been voted for. So I'm counting the votes. Who has been the most helpful in terms of giving us? Audrey has been voted for many times. So Audrey, I can see Ephraim as well. Let me, Andia, let me give it like 2 more minutes to see. So I have Andia, Audrey, and Ephraim. So please continue voting there. Audrey, I can see Audrey has been voted for. Audrey, don't vote for yourself. Don't vote for yourself. Don't vote for yourself. Audrey, Ephraim still coming up. Andia, Audrey. I think Audrey has won. So Audrey, please give me your number there. Give me your mobile number there as I go to a different question. Remember, the students who are also asking questions shall be giving them presents. The ones who are also asking questions, we shall be giving them presents. Everybody will be a winner here. Everybody will be a winner here tonight. Everybody is going to be a winner here tonight. I've got enough cash for everybody, so long as you are active, and also so long as, ladies and gentlemen, you have joined my tuition classes. I also want you to join my tuition classes. And today I saw like 5 people have joined our tuition classes, and most of them, these night classes, most of them joined us because of our yesterday's session. We shall also be able to reward them. So we have Audrey. So of course, I know that this money is coming to your parents. So I expect your parents to hand over the cash to you. I expect your parents to hand over the cash to you. I don't know what has happened with this one. I think M-Pesa has a problem. So if it comes twice, this great lady may just repeat. So we have 0. So if it comes 2 times, this cash, it is either you win another present or you return the excess money back to me immediately after class. But if you win another present, will be very good for me. Let's just give it time. I don't know why. The app is misbehaving. All right. So then with your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I will be able to go to the second question here. With your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be able to go to the second question here. Question number 6. Question number 6. Question number 6. Question number 6. So question number 6 will disadvantage some of you, the students who are joining Form 3. I'm so sure you haven't yet done this, but you see, I will be able to teach it in a very simplified way such that everybody will be very, very happy. So this reads like this. So question number 6. It reads, solve the equation. Solve the equation. Solve the equation. Cosine theta. Cosine 2 theta. Cosine 2 theta equals sine theta. equals sine theta, and they're giving us a range there. They're giving us a range there. So I would want to give you, even without looking at that range, I would want to give you exactly 3 minutes. Try to see whether new winner is loading. I love that. New winner is loading. I love that. How do we access the tuition? Very, very easy. Remember, I told you my tuition charges for the students that I will be teaching here throughout every day. And remember, these classes will be every day, and they only go for 30 minutes. 30 minutes of you guys learning and getting presents every day, every day, every day, every day, every day for 30 minutes. Every day for 30 minutes. So in this case here, you will just pay me 2,000 shillings. Yeah. And then, of course, pay bill. I gave you the pay bill. It is 62 42 839. Account number is maths. But now remember, if you are in our normal tuition classes, there are those guys who joined our day tuition classes. You don't pay for this program. This program is for you for free, for free. But of course, some of you could be busy during the day, could be having other tuitions, but now you may need to be taken through this process of revising with Mwalimu here, Dr. Joshua Aura. So if you want to be a mentee, sit under my feet throughout this December and get to see, in this case here, lots of December, November. Lots of improvements, I can assure you. This is something you join us, and then at the end of the day, next time you'll see lots of improvement in how you perform in your mathematics paper. Your performance automatically will go up like this. So if you are interested with this program, this is our phone number if you want more details. So once you pay, please forward. Once you pay, please forward the payment message to this, and then we shall be able to add you to our various WhatsApp groups. So it will be quite fun having you around here. All right. So cosine 230 equals sine 30. Answer is 30. Already people have these answers. People have these answers. I'll still give you 2 more minutes. Thank you. All right. So let's see in this question, who will be able to get my present. Huh? Let's see in this question, who shall be able to get my present. All right. So remember, this is under trigonometry, and this is really, really very easy. Yeah. So remember here, we normally use the concept of what here? Complementary angles. Yeah, those angles that are able to complement each other. So if, for example, you're given like an angle like this one, all right? If this is an angle, yeah, A, yeah, 30 degrees, for example. Yeah. And then, of course, if the whole of this is right angle, if somebody in this case here asks you to give us the complement of angle A, not supplement, but complement. Can somebody give me the complement of this angle A? Somebody give me the complement of this angle A. 60, isn't it? 60. Because you're looking at this other angle that is completing this to 90. So it means that this has to be 60, so that now 60 plus this 30 will be complete, will be a complete right angle. The same case with this. When it is cosine whatever angle being equal to sine whatever angle, these two angles, whenever you add them together, they must add up to 90. They must add up to 90. Thank you so much. So it means that 2 theta, yeah, the concept of complement, plus in this case here theta, so you forget the cosine and the sine, you forget them. So 2 theta plus this theta should be exactly equal to 90 degrees. So meaning that you're talking of 3 theta should be equal to 90 degrees, meaning that theta alone, we are dividing both sides by 3. Both sides by 3. So this will be 90 degrees over 3, meaning that theta alone equals what here? 30 degrees. But you see, this examiner would not want you to stop here. This examiner would want you to present this in terms of pi radians. This examiner will not want you to stop here. He would want you to present this in terms of pi radians. Is there somebody who is able to do that? Anybody who is able to do that? So you see, we know that our pi in trigonometry, pi normally equals 100 what here? 80 degrees. Pi is 180 degrees. So then meaning that 30 degrees will be equal to what divided by what now? So 30, if I want to get this 30, I will take 180 divided by what here? i.e., to get 30, I'm taking 180 divided by what here, somebody? 6. To get 30. To get 30 degrees, I'm taking 180. I'm taking 180 divided by 6. And 180 is my pi. So meaning that this will be the same as pi radians all over what here, somebody? 6. So automatically now the final answer, instead of saying 30 degrees, this will be the same as pi over what there? Over 6. Pi over 6 like that. Allow me to repeat this. Allow me to repeat this because that is why we are here. That's why we are here. So you see, this is cosine 2 theta equals sine theta. Whenever it's cosine an angle equals sine of an angle, there is a relationship between the two angles given. And the relationship is a complementary relationship like this. That if you add the two angles, like now this one, 30 plus 60, we got in this case here 90. That if we add the two angles, then we shall be able to get the two angles giving us a sum total of 90. 90. And then, of course, these are like terms. So this will be 3 theta equals 90 degrees. How about just 1 theta? So we divide both sides by 3. So then theta will be 90 degrees over 3, where theta gave us what here? 30 degrees. But you see, your examiner will always ask you to give us this in terms of pi radians. And we have said that our pi, is 180 degrees. So you simply ask yourself, how do I get, in this case here, this 30 in terms of this? So you're saying, ladies and gentlemen, that to get this 30, of course, you can easily get to know. To get 30, you'll simply ask yourself, 30 goes into this how many times? You divide this by 30. Somebody will be able to tell me that this is 6, meaning automatically that I'll be able to come and do a swap. Meaning basically that in this case here, if it is to get 6, I took 180 divided by 30. So it means automatically that this 30 will be the same 180 now divided by this number of times, which are how many? 6. So from here, I will not divide again. Remember, I wanted a representation in terms of 180, because this 180 is what we call the pi radians, if you wish. Pi radians, if you wish. So pi divided by what here, somebody? 6. So this automatically gives me the final answer. Final answer that most of you would have been able to get. Yeah, if they're telling me the ranges, even ranges I can calculate very fast. You see, like now here, they wanted me to give them, if you look at the answer that we give them, it's just about teasing you. They want to scare you. Yeah, they told us here to leave the answer in terms of pi radians. What we have done here, pi radians, like that. Yeah, pi radians, that is the final answer. But they wanted us to find this answer, within some range. And the range they're giving us here is a funny range, a nice range. Which range are they giving me? The range they're giving me, ladies and gentlemen, is this one. That theta must be greater or equal to 0, which must be less or equal to pi radians over 4. So we want to see whether the figure we got of 30, is it able to fit here? Is it able to fit here? Let's see. If I were you, I would always convert this to degrees. It's very easy. So if I convert this to degrees, then my range will look like this. My theta will be greater or equal to, of course, 0, but less or equal to, we know pi radians is 180. We divide this by 4. So meaning that my theta will be greater or equal to 0. Ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, what is 180 divided by 4? Those aggressive students of mine, what is 180? 45, isn't it? 45. Less or equal to 45. Then now we can ask ourselves the question. Now you can see in this case here the number line. We can see our number line. Our number line looks like this. Our number line looks like this. Our number line for our theta runs from 0 all the way to 45. And as we got 30 degrees, which falls within the range, which falls within the range, which falls within the range, because 30 is in between. 30 is in between. 30 is in between. So somebody is asking whether, let me just check the students who ask questions. Divided by 30. I like students, yeah, great. So then somebody has been able to appreciate here that we have got two methods. Let's in this case here try to solve this using, I know what this ninja is talking about. This ninja, if you allow me, I'll be able to use method 2 and then I'll be able to explain this even better. After all, this should even be the last question we are doing. Today, given that this was a free session, we can do, but we need to do 3 minimum. That's what we agreed. We need to do a minimum of 3. Let's do a minimum of 3. So method 2 for this same question. Method 2. So method 2, we shall use what we call the trig identity equation. The trig identity equation. The trig identity equation. And this trig identity equation, ladies and gentlemen, remember very well. We know that sine theta, if you remember very well, I don't know whether they have been able to write up to here. Let me first of all give them a chance. I don't want to rush them very fast. The trig identity. Yeah, if you leave your answer at 30 degrees, you will be missing some mark, isn't it? You'll be missing some mark. If you leave it at 30, you'll be missing some mark because the question has told you to leave your final answer in terms of what your degrees, radians there. The pi radians, So if you leave it at 30, you lose 1 mark, which will be very, very bad. Which will be very, very bad. Which will be very, very bad. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember the trig identity equation. It tells us that sine theta will be equal to cosine the complementary angle. Complementary angle here, which will be 90 minus what here? The theta that you have here. This is a very, very important equation if you would wish to use this approach. And there are questions that you can only do using this approach, and I'll be able to prove to you. We must know the two methods if you want an A-plane. That sine theta equals, ladies and gentlemen, cosine 90 minus theta, because the two angles must always be complementary. Just like, for example, if this was 30, then this would have been what here? 60. So this is what we call the trigonometry identity equation. If I were you, I would come and highlight this using a yellow highlighter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this one is really something that I have to cram. Very, very important. And then now you come to the question. The question itself, they have given us this question, they have told us it is cosine 2 theta. Cosine 2 theta equals sine theta. From the question that came, cosine 2 theta equals sine theta. But we know, sine theta from the trigonometry identity equation, sine theta equals cosine 90 degrees theta. So we are saying that we would want to replace this. We know this from this, implying, my good students, that cosine 2 theta, instead of writing this sign now, we know it's equivalent. Its equivalent is cosine 90 minus theta. Can somebody guide now me from here? What do you think will be the next thing to be done? Somebody who is very aggressive. Somebody in this case, you will be getting my next present. Drop the cos. Thank you so much. Because cos is appearing in both. Yes. So drop the cos. So if I drop the cos, because it's appearing in both sides of the equations, I will be left with 2 theta equals 90. You can be writing 90 degrees, but to me that is a non-issue, minus theta. So now we can comfortably put thetas together, like terms together, like terms together. So like terms together, this theta here is a negative. When it crosses over, it becomes a positive. Like terms, yes. So we have 2 theta plus theta equals 90 degrees. So then 2 theta plus theta, that gives me what we call 3 theta equals 90, implying that theta will be 90 over 3, which will give me the 30 degrees. 30 degrees. Which will give me the 30 degrees. 30 degrees, yes. Bryson, yeah, 30 degrees. So theta is that 30 degrees. Hello, Elsie, great. 30 degrees. And once you get this, I don't know now whether there is somebody who will be able to convert this to pi radians. Let me give you 1 minute. Somebody will be able to convert this to pi radians. If I'm the 1 pi, I know pi is 180. So first of all, what I'll do, I will take 180 divided by the 30 I got here. When I take 180 divided by 30, I'm getting 6. I'm getting 6. And therefore, in this case, ladies and gentlemen, my theta